on Taxi Cab Appreciation Day, or a hand grenade that you pull the pin on and toss down their trousers? The Rudy Giuliani approach or the Pat Cooper approach? He's coming up from 11 to 2, and then he'll be followed by Art Bell from 2 to 5. Meantime, this is it, the last round for our PAL auction here on the Curtis Sliwa Show. Please call 1-800-PAL-4KIDS. We've got the vehicle you always wanted, a 1998 Toyota 4Runner Limited, courtesy of United Auto Group and its area dealerships, including Westbury Toyota. You've got 10 minutes left for the New York Mets clinic put on by Bobby Valentine the day of the game. And then there's a day's work on the set of Della Ventura. That's right. Oh, yeah. You know who I'm talking about. Danny Aiello, his nephew. Well, you could join him in the Yankee booth as they broadcast the game. Michael Kay and John Sterling, a full inning, a dream come true. For your bid at 1-800-725-4543, or pamper yourself with a weekend stay at the Essex House. Feel like a trendoid or a jet setter and have brunch at Cafe Botanica. Score a hat trick with tickets to the New Jersey Devils hockey season, or come down to the studio for an hour during my show and help broadcast with me high above the sky of Madison Square Garden. This way we can knock out Ron Kuby in our lifetime. That's right. So far, the bid there, we started with $200. The last bid to be able to broadcast with me for an hour, $1,500. Put me over the top, because I know a lot of heavy hitters are going to be listening to Pat Cooper and are going to make mincemeat out of these bids. All your bidding is to support the PAL. No donation is too small. For $25 or more, you'll receive an official PAL T-shirt. That number is 1-800-725-4543. 1-800-725-4543. And back to the phones we go, and Elaine, who's calling from Bayonne, New Jersey. Good evening, Elaine.
Good evening, Curtis. Are these people calling in, they are high on something, or they have their head in the sand?
Oh, my God. We're having good, clean, wholesome fun here on Taxi Cab Appreciation Day, but also making points about the slovenly behavior and attitudes and just lack of decorum that taxi drivers in general have in the city.
Well, it's true. It isn't just a Seinfeld show, because I came in from Bayonne a few weeks ago to see a new show with some friends here, and the guy's dragging me. He didn't wait for me to get the other foot in the cab. So I had a sore hand, and, I had one foot in, one foot out. I had to yell. Guy never answered me. He had the turban on. Maybe it's too tight. His brains weren't functioning. And bad insult to injury, my hurt hand, I had to come home and burn my clothes.
Burn your clothes?
So what are these people talking about?
Now, would you have opted for the Pat Cooper approach of tossing a hand grenade down his trousers?
Oh, Pasquale Caputo, he's right. Yeah, I saw him at the embassy last month.
Oh, my God. Elaine,
even you.
Thanks for having a sense of humor. You were nearly dragged to your death, and yet
That's
you still
right.
can make light of it.
You have to.
Thank you. I should send you some Krispy Kreme donuts over there in Bayonne.
Oh, gee, thanks. I'd appreciate it.
Well, no.
Thank you.
I am not going to do that. Then the suits will say, "What are you offering Krispy Kreme donuts for, you
Send me a
schlub?"
grenade. I might need one.
Okay, thank you, Elaine.
Okay, you're welcome. Take care.
Let's go to Bruce, who's calling from Manhattan. Good evening, Bruce.
How you doing, Curtis?
Very good, sir.
I'll tell you something. Some of these cab drivers, I got into a cab. I told him to take me to Penn Station. He didn't even know where the hell it was.
Didn't know where Penn Station was.
Yeah, you know what I say?
What?
Put the hand grenades in the donuts and serve it to him.
All right, Bruce, let's go to Charles, who's calling from Lakewood, New Jersey.
Sure.
Good evening, Charles.
How you doing, Curtis?
Very good, sir.
I hold of Giuliani. He's very good. But I don't know about this one.
You mean you would not have been standing side by side with Rudy giving out donuts and coffee on
not at
Taxi
all.
Cab Appreciation Day?
No.
Why? What have your experiences with cab drivers been like?
They rip you off, and they're not good. They don't give you good service. And anyway, who's paying for these donuts and coffee?
Oh, no, they're free from Krispy Kreme. It's a giveaway.
Oh, I thought it's from our tax.
No. Trust me, people would be literally calling a house revolution if they thought their tax dollars had to go for donuts and coffee for cab drivers. Let's go to Lisa, who's calling from Queens. Good evening, Lisa.
Good evening. I think you are hysterical tonight. Actually, I've been sitting here and cracking up. I wonder if any of your listeners, has ever held his breath from Manhattan to Queens, just taking one breath in order to be able not to have to breathe the stench that you get in those taxi cabs.
And you think maybe you give them a hint because it's 20 degrees below zero and you're opening the windows, both of them in the back.
That's absolutely true. You know, you're right on the money. You're hysterical.
They're looking back at you like you're crazy, right?
I'd rather blow away.
My head is hanging out the window. You know, I'm virtually being beheaded, but I'm like sucking in what little air I can get.
Exactly right. And for this, we have, you know, we have the pleasure of paying a substantial amount of money to get from Manhattan to Queens.
And you know, Lisa, in many of these foreign countries where these cab drivers come from, if you go and queue up for a taxi in those places, third world countries, primitive automobiles, they don't tolerate that kind of performance. There are certain standards they have to meet. And believe it or not, cleanliness is one of them, but obviously not here in New York City.
The most listened to talk radio station in America. Call now and make your bid for the PAL Radio Auction.
If you're talking about it, we're talking about it. News Talk Radio 77 WABC.
New York.
It's 11 o'clock.
Items to auction off just in time for the holidays. The first item is up for bidding until Saturday, a 1998 Toyota 4Runner Limited, the machine of your dreams. This is a fully equipped vehicle with rear heater, VIP security system, moonroof, and much more. Courtesy of United Auto Group and its New York area dealerships, including Amity Toyota, Gateway Toyota, and Hudson Toyota. Don't miss out on this truly grand item. The value is $37,505. Bidding is now up to $32,000. Let's go over that. Let's get that money in. It's for a great cause. Call 1-800-PAL-4-KIDS. 1-800-PAL-4-KIDS. Go for it. Grab it. Don't be afraid. 1-800-725-4543. Until 2 a.m., we are offering a Hunting World Signatures Man's Watch, courtesy of Hunting World. You'll never be late with this classic wristwatch, complete with automatic movement in stainless steel. What a decorative item. I'm falling asleep. The watch has a silver gray dial with a large gold-plated Hunting World elephant logo and cognac leather strap. This item is valued at $1,150. We will start the bidding at $575. High stakes, high rolling, high bidding for the next 3 hours. An adventure-filled trip for two to Las Vegas, my hometown. Round-trip airfare for two. Donated by U.S. Airways. This package includes a 2-night stay at Luxor, Las Vegas, and I've been there. It's a great hotel, valued at $896. We'll start the bidding at $450. The holiday season always means putting on those extra pounds. What can you do about it? Join a gym. Our next item is a 6-month membership at World Gym. Exercise your way to be better. This gym membership is valued at $549. Begin the bidding at $225. And everyone has a little couch potato in them. You can bid on a year of basic and standard cable service, including home box office. This exciting item is donated by Time Warner Cable and Home Box, which is great. Dynamite. See all the movies and all the great shows at home. Valued at $532. We'll open the bidding at $270. Lights, camera, action. You can bid on 4 VIP front row tickets to the taping of The Cosby Show. This package includes 4 Cosby t-shirts, an autograph script. And don't miss this chance to see the Cos up close. This is one of the funniest guys, ladies and gentlemen. A fine man, ladies and gentlemen. This is a great gift, and it's a priceless item. Bidding will begin at $300. Up, and away in my beautiful balloon. You and a guest can ride high in the sky in a hot air balloon ride donated by Forbes. This hour-long ride is in the Somerset County area of New Jersey. Call now to bid. The value on this item is $350. We'll start the bidding at $200. Let me see those bids coming in, please. Just call 1-800-725-4543. 1-800-725-4543. This is our 3rd annual auction to benefit the Police Athletic League. And ladies and gentlemen, I've done many benefits for this organization. This doesn't get any better. These are the nicest people. They want to help kids. They want to put these kids on the right road. Whatever you volunteer here, and whatever you buy here, whatever you bid here, is going for a good cause. Did you know that PAL was founded in 1914? Its mission remains unchanged, to keep young people out of trouble. And all they do is channel their energies into recreational situations, educational, athletic programs. They do the whole ball of wax. This is a great organization. The first 5 callers to contribute $24 will receive 25 Christmas in New York instant game tickets from the New York State Lottery, plus a lovely PAL T-shirt. The number is 1-800-725-4543. The PAL, 1-800-725-4543. Put your bid in. It's great. It'll make you feel like a better person. It's the holidays. A lot of kids need comfort, need money, so they can have a better Christmas. It's up to you, ladies and gentlemen. Pat Cooper here. It's now 11 minutes after 11, and I'm here. And I'm tired from reading that thing because it was a long, long thing. But you know something? I'm glad. I'm glad I had the opportunity, because somebody's got to do these things, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, but anyway. I just got up here a little while ago, and, you know, coming out of the Madison Square Garden was the Knick game, and I've never seen crowds like this, ladies and gentlemen. It was terrifying. I'm seeing people with strollers. I don't know who people go to the Knick game with strollers. That seems to be a big thing. People are diehard sports fans. I don't know. Maybe it's something wrong with me. I never got really involved. You know, how many points they scored, and who fouled who, and who laid down, and who jumped up, and I don't know. That game to me is not an exciting game. But then again, a lot of things ain't exciting to me. Hockey's not exciting to me. But people seem to put all these, these athletes up in the air and making them, giants. And I don't know. I don't get it at all. I'm reading in a paper where Mr. Barkley from another team, and he's a man that throws people out of the window. He wants to, screw up the NBA All-Star game. So I don't know. What the hell is this? What's wrong with this man? He wants to stop the All-Star game because of the other guy who strangled his coach. Oh, brother. I said it the other night, it bears repeating. People know who to hit. Those are cowards. People know who to hit. You don't do that. There's a young kids going to a ball game. They're idols, and they see this man strangling somebody, or they see another guy pushing. They see Dennis Rodman kicking a guy between the gooches there. What the hell is that? That's unfair. Mike Tyson biting somebody's ear. And right away, the minute there's trouble, they call Johnny Cochran. Now, Johnny Cochran is not the Mother Cabrini of lawyers. I mean, this is a big joke. They make like he's the threat. The minute people see Johnny Cochran, everybody goes, oops, all right, we're wrong. Johnny Cochran's client is right. That's the end of it. Now they're talking about negotiating, bringing this guy maybe back, and maybe giving some of the money back. That doesn't make anything right. You got to stop it in the bud. You got to nip it now and let all the ball players know this happens, that's what's going to happen to you. You blow your career, you blow everything, you're out of the game. Now, if the guy wants to go to another country and play, fine. They want to take him, let these guys go to the other country. They don't deserve to be on the ball court. They just don't deserve that. I think it's a sin. I think it's a crime. We got a lot of athletes out there who never get a chance, who are great athletes, will never get a chance, and these guys are just abusing it. It's no more a game. It's money, it's kill, it's punch, it's grab, it's stab. Even the football game, I mean, they take some shots that they shouldn't take. It's terrible. It's unfair. It's unfair. And I'm not a prude, I like to see a good boxing match, but I don't want to see guys kicking each other, biting each other. Like one time I saw Riddick Bowe throwing this guy over the ropes. I mean, what the hell's going around with these people? I mean, you give me that kind of money, I'm a gentleman. I'm going to be a gentleman whether you give me that money or not, but they don't care. Nobody cares. You've got to stop it. And you got to get men like Johnny Cochran to understand that when your client's wrong, he's wrong, and you're not going to lie for him, and you're not going to put him in front of the public and say to the guy, well, it was a mistake. He had a headache, and he took 2 Tylenols. He wasn't feeling good. His left leg went up, his right leg went down, and he was in a coma. He wasn't dreaming. He wasn't doing this. He found Jesus. They all find Jesus after a while, Everybody that goes to jail comes out and says, I just found Jesus. While they're in jail, they found Jesus. Like that woman that they're going to electrocute in Texas, she says, I'm born again, and I don't care. I'm not going to beg for my life because God knows what's right and wrong. What a bunch of crap. What a bunch of liars. What a bunch of dogs. I mean, all of a sudden, we got to be afraid to execute this woman as she killed people in a violent way, and now they're going to put it into governor's hands. The Supreme Court said, no, they're going to execute her, but we can't. She's a lady, and she's a nice lady, and she married the guy, the reverend who she told her sins to. They're married. They touched their hands in the glass, and they're in love. What a bunch of crap. What a bunch of crap. And that reverend, he's got to be a Looney Tune also. Why don't they back off, do their reverend job? Tell her, we'll pray with you, we'll try to help you. No, they got to marry him, and they got to make a big stink. They got to make a big expose of their death sentence. What the hell is wrong with this country? You make a death sentence, a death sentence, a death sentence. You pull the plug, that's the end of it. You're out of here. I'll tell you why I get scared. Because if these guys or these women ever get out, their sperm can make another one just like them. So you got to kill them and get rid of them. Get them out of here. Because their bloodline could come back again and haunt you with another kid that's going to be just like them. So if you're going to have the death penalty, have the death penalty. If you're not going to have it, just don't have it. But don't say we got it. Like New York, we have it, but nobody's going to get killed in New York. Nobody wants to take the chance. Nobody wants to take the chance. Law is the law, and the law should be for everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a crime, and you're sending out messages to the kids in this country that you get away with murder. You can go to school and shoot people. Now they're going to turn around and put this kid, 14 years old, what are they going to do to him? They're going to turn around and they're going to try him as an adult. What a joke. I'd have whacked him out and that's the end of him. I'm concerned about the victims. I'm concerned about the sadness and the sorrow that these people turn around, and what do? They got to go to the funerals of their children, and this guy, they're going to turn around and say, well, we're going to make him as an adult. You know what's going to happen? This kid will turn around, go to jail, and a couple of years, he'll walk, they'll find a way. They'll find a Johnny Cochran out there to let him get out. That's why, you know what it is? It's business. It's money. It's no more character, no more dignity, and no more proper law. The law is the law. If 1 and 1 is 2, that's where it's got to be. You can't make 1 and 1 4, 1 and 1 7, 1 and 1 9. We got to go by the rules and regulations. We cannot amend the law. We shouldn't do it. This is the way it's got to be. Any country in the world, they blow you away. You go to Singapore, you chew gum, you get a whacking on your rear end. That's the law. They don't make any excuses. Well, maybe Thursday won't whack him, maybe Friday will whack him, maybe won't whack him. We turned around when they wanted to whack that kid, that he was disobeying the rules and regulations of Singapore. We're turning around. They got the Pope calling up. They got this one calling up. Don't hit him. Whack him. Let him have it. He did something wrong. He should have read the book when he went to Singapore, what you can and cannot do in this country. You are not in America. You are not in America. Understand that. What am I yelling at? Anyway, we got to go to a break. WABC, Pat Cooper, 770 AM. Come on back, please. Pat Cooper here, 1-800-848-WABC. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, the Kathy Lee Gifford has a Christmas show, and reading some of the papers and some of the reviews already. I don't dislike this woman. I don't have any hate toward her. I think she's basically a nice lady, but I think the timing to do a Christmas show after all the nonsense this year that this woman had and her husband, and listen, I'm no prude, and I'm not, Mr. Nice Guy all the time, and I make mistakes like everybody else, but I think it's so stupid. I think you should have passed this year on the Christmas show because, and then you have Kenny Rogers, another guy who had some problems, and these people are singing Christmas carols and God Almighty and Jesus loves them, and it's such a hypocrisy thing. It's such a boring thing. It's such a downer. I don't think those kind of things are upper. I mean, if you would have passed this year, and then next year you could come back and do another one, and to have your husband come out the last minute and say, let's go home. I mean, that's corny. That's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, and you're a bright lady. I know you're a beautiful lady. You're a talented lady. But to turn around and do this, and, what are you trying to say? People are not going to love you that way. They're going to love you because they want to love you, not because you're shoving it down their throat. Frank, you got to go up there and say, let's go home. You're a man. You're a big star. What the hell you got to bend like that? You made a mistake, okay. If she don't forgive you, forget about it. You do the best you can. If she forgives you, fine. You hug, you kiss, and you do the best you can. Try not to make the mistake twice. And again, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes every day. I'm a piece of garbage to a lot of people. I'm a great guy. But, that's one thing I wouldn't do. I wouldn't go on television and start singing religious songs. And, it takes away from the holiday. And people start to say, what the hell is that? Let me go to the phones. On 3, Frank from Valley Stream. How are you?
Pasquale Caputo.
Hello, Frijansky.
How are you, my friend?
All right, Gumbara.
35 years I'm trying to say hello to you.
Well, you're a very kind man. That's all. 35 years, you just want a turkey.
I don't want a turkey.
What's doing, my buddy?
Oh, for 35 years I want to talk to you and tell you the joy you brought to our family.
Well, thank you. That's a compliment. That's a comment. I don't take that loosely. I've been around a long time, and when anybody turns around and says, you brought some kind of a smile on my face, okay. And I just mentioned earlier, I'm not perfect. My diction isn't the greatest. I am not the most educated man in the world. I read some of this stuff today, and I fumbled a little bit on, some of these furniture things and stuff. And for the sponsors out there, if I didn't sound on the money all the way, forgive me, but I try. And, I'm not doing this every day. If I was doing this every day, I would get sharp, and I would read these things better. But, hey, I thank you for calling. What can I do for you, Frank?
I just want you to keep saying what you're saying because you speak the truth.
Well, okay, and again, you speak the truth sometimes, and people say, well, he's got a big mouth because they can't answer that. And again, I've lied in my life, and please believe me. I've had family problems like everybody else, please believe me. I'm a divorced man. I've got children from my first marriage. I've said it many times. My life is an open book. I've betted myself. I'm married 35 years now. I got 2 grandkids. I got some great friends out there. I'm a very fortunate man, and again, I make mistakes. When I mentioned Kathy Lee and Frank Gifford, Frank is not acting like a man. He should be a man and say, I'm not coming on that show. That's hypocrisy. I feel like an idiot. I bring the 2 kids on and say to Kathy Lee, let's go home. And then she's turning around having a guy called Kenny Rogers, who's another rabiad, as they say in Italy, not a guy that's supposed to be the Blessed Mother. They all sing these songs of God and heaven and angels, and meanwhile their life is not the greatest life in the world. Why don't they just turn around and back off and say, look, I don't want to do it this year. I had a bad year. My family had a couple of bad things. But no, they want to shove it down your throat. They all become blessed mothers, and this is why the people resent them. You got a lot of poor people out there who are trying to make ends meet, and they hear this nonsense. They turn the tube on, and they hear these people speaking about the blessed God and mother and all this stuff, and Jesus saves and Jesus don't save. But meanwhile, they don't give up money. They don't give up nothing. But once in a while, they say, let's raise money for a guy across the street. They raise money. What do they give out of their own pocket? Gabish?
Gabish.
Frankie, thank you. Take care. Have a happy holiday.
One doubt.
All right, number 2, Ralph Gaddy. Ralphie. Hello, number 2, Ralph.
We used to have coffee together in Sheps on Mandible Avenue.
Hey, Ralph, give me back my money. How you doing, Ralphie?
I'm 84 years old now, Pat.
How old?
84.
Ralphie.
I was a fire marshal in the Navy Yard.
Ralphie.
And I used to take the Mandible Avenue trolley, get off at Sheps. Remember you had a coffee count on Mandible Avenue?
Ralphie, you know my business. How dare you? How dare you squeal on me?
And the day that you went out to get an audition, I gave you the good luck.
Well, I remember that, Ralphie. I swear to you. In fact, the gentleman that said, do you know a guy called Ralph Gaddis? Yeah, put him on. I certainly remember that. You know something? That was it seems like yesterday. Yeah, that's about 30-some-odd years ago.
Oh, God, yeah.
But, Ralph, I remember you, and you were a gentleman, and we had coffee together.
Oh, God.
And you know something?
Peppertone lived on St. Mark's Avenue.
Well,
Peppertone
could have been the DiMaggio of his era.
Right.
And Peppertone, when we used to watch him play stickball, he was a great ball player.
Right.
And Joe's a pretty good guy. He had a couple of problems, but Joe could have been the Joe DiMaggio of his era, but unfortunately it didn't work out. And if Joe, if you're listening, I love you. You're still a great guy, and Jay,
Yeah, well, I know his cousin. I talk to him quite often.
Mm-hmm. But okay, if you see him, tell him I said hello.
I will.
And you be good, my buddy. Have a happy holiday.
Hey, Pat, thanks.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Let's go to 5 and say hello to Julie from Manhattan. Julie, how are you?
It's Julie Budd. How are you?
Hey, Julie, you son of a god, do I love you.
I called to congratulate you. I think it's so great that you have your show.
Well, it's not my show. I'm just, I'm doing it for 2 days this week, and last week I did Mayor Koch for 2 days. And you know something, Julie, it's an honor and a pleasure that they would trust me with this thing because, a lot of people think I'm erratic, I'm off the wall. I probably am, but to do this kind of thing is really a nice compliment to get that opportunity.
It sure is, and I think you're terrific. I'm really happy for you.
Well, because you're a smart lady and you're probably one of the best singers on the planet. And, I love your conductor, Herbie.
Yeah,
I love him dearly.
Has Patty and the kids.
Everyone's well, and I hear rumors you're going to Israel. Is that true?
Yeah, well, we're working on getting my record released there. I have a new album that's out now.
You always got something new, honey.
Yeah, I should send you one, Patty, for Christmas. I'm going to get
honey, if you do, I love you because, we've worked together many times, and I think you know me maybe a little better than some of the other people I work with. We have a lot of fun and a lot of class, a lot of dignity, a lot of respect for each other, but sometimes they get the rap of being off the wall, but that's me, and I don't mean it to be hateful to anybody. I really care, and I care about you because you're like part of my era of one of the great singers singers I've ever worked with. I don't say that because you're on the air with me. You're one of the greats I've ever worked with.
Oh, honey, thank you. I just want to let you know I'm really, really happy for you that you're doing this because I think it's a great future for you in broadcasting.
No, I'm not. There's not a future. I don't want to go. I want to go home.
Oh, no, Patty.
I live in Las Vegas. Are you nuts?
I think that the audience is going to demand that you stay.
Well, they demanded, and Julie, you'll be my first guest.
I think it's great, and I'm happy for you.
I love you, baby.
A big hug and happy holiday, okay?
You too, and say hello to my little baby Herbie. I love that man.
I will, honey, and have a safe trip home, and I'm really glad you're doing this.
Thank you for coming.
Bye-bye, sweetie.
Bye-bye. That's Julie Budd, ladies and gentlemen. This is a young lady. You know, she always got a semi-bad rap, which I could never understand. They say she sounds like Barbra Streisand. Nobody sounds like Barbra Streisand. Julie Budd sounds like Julie Budd. And why did I do is I say, that guy sounds like Sinatra. Nobody sounds like Sinatra. This girl's got her own style. She's very professional. She's beautiful. She gets on that floor. She knows what she's doing. And she's been singing since she's, God, we did the Ed Sullivan shows together. She's doing this since she's 10, 12, 13 years old, and she's still a young girl. And I'd love to see her bust out really big because she deserves it. Well, anyway, I'll get to the phones in a couple of minutes. We got a hard break at right now, and that's Pat Cooper. 1-800-848-WABC and 770 AM on your dial. Pat Cooper, come back. Come stop these people at the phone as Jimmy's at the car. On 2, Jim from Trenton. Jimmy on 2. Are you there?
Mr.
Jimmy,
Cooper.
how are you, Jim?
Good, pal. How are you?
Just drive careful, please.
Yeah, listen, this is an honor for me.
Thank you.
I'm 37 years old. I grew up, my household grew up with you. I remember as a kid we were listening to Our Hero, which is the album you put out years and years ago.
Right.
I wanted to comment on something you said before.
Right.
You were talking about the sports figures and the heroes and things like that. You know who's been my hero my whole life?
Who?
My father.
Well, you're a fortunate man.
You know why?
Why?
The man is solid. He taught me good stuff. He's a good man, and I've stood behind him, and he stood behind me my whole life.
Well, if you got good parents, show yourself to them. You know what I said to my wife one night? I said, if I had a mother like you, I'd never get married. My wife is the finest mother I've ever seen of any woman, and she's a great grandmother. And I look at her and I say, wow.
Amazing.
Her family raised her the proper way. She's got a big heart. She's a great little singer, and she's just, she gets down to the kids' level. She knows how to do the Halloween stuff and all that stuff. She did it with my daughter. And again, my daughter loves my wife, and that's her mother, but how fortunate.
Well, I wanted to tell you that I grew up with you, and
thank you.
And you really have been a piece of our house our whole life. So
that's
thank you very much. I was so glad to hear you on the radio.
Well, thank you for having me in your house, and I love you, and be well. Have a happy holiday.
Yeah, same to you.
Drive careful, Jimmy.
Hey, you got it, pal.
Let's go to John on number 1. John from South Orange. How are you, John?
Pat, how you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Listen, Pat, several things. First of all, it's a pleasure to have you on the radio.
Thank you.
One of my most greatly admirations for yourself is your ability, your honesty.
Mm-hmm.
You don't sell out to these people.
I wouldn't dare sell out. I'll die first.
The question I have for you, though, is this.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to your professional career,
Mm-hmm.
being so honest, being so upfront, hasn't it been a negative to you?
Yes, it has been. I can't get Letterman no more. I don't know where Conan O'Brien is. I used to do that. Kathy Lee and Regis, I used to do that at least twice a year. They don't want me no more because I was maybe a little negative toward Kathy Lee. I wasn't negative in a hateful way. It's like when you see somebody drowning and you try to help them and they spit in your eye and say, we don't want you no more because you're doing the right thing. And their producer has no use for me, I'm sure. And you know something? It's their loss. They don't bother me. I'm as good as anyone on the planet. But you know something? I've never really got hot as a pistol like a Bob Hope or a Rodney Dangerfield. But I've always been warm. I make a great living. And if they want to reject my talent, they're such big fools. Because you know what? I want to be around great talent. And if I didn't like somebody and have my own show and they go for the show, I would bring them on. But they get jealous. They're inferior. They look at you making $17 million. David Letterman making $17 million. Why should I intimidate him? And I do intimidate him. Because David Letterman is not special to me. David Letterman is a nice man. He's a comic. He goes every year. Gets $17 million a year. And all of a sudden I'm intimidating this guy. It's terrible.
But you don't need that.
Wait a minute. I'll give you one better.
You did it yourself.
I call up the Jay Leno people. You know what they said? Send me your tape. I said, no, send me your tape. They go, what do you want my tape for? I said, I want to know what you do. I know what I do. I said, you come out of college, you don't know what I do, I got to send you a tape? I got to yield to a person like you? You're a kid. You're a child. I'm in the trenches all day long. And you guys turn around, so you're representing Jay Leno, and you don't want me on a show? You're a fool. That means you didn't do your homework.
These other guys are like the puppies on the leash.
But you see...
They do whatever they say, jump how high. They do everything they want.
Johnny...
To get on. For what?
The minute you say something, they say it's sour grapes. They think you're jealous because they got a show. They think you're jealous. I'm not jealous of anyone. I got enough. I don't give a damn. But it just hurts me that they're letting... Here, I did Charles Grodin. In fact, I'm on tonight. Okay? Charles Grodin sits there, goes, I don't know how you do it. You got a great mind. He says, I don't know why you don't do the Lettermans anymore. I said, Charles, what am I going to do? I submit myself to them. I go to Conan O'Brien's. All of a sudden, yeah, well, right now, the wind's shifting and the boats are sinking. And all of a sudden, they get a guy on television that means nothing, that says nothing, that's been in Iraq for 45 days, and he tells David Letterman, I've been in Iraq 45 days. That's the guest. I got things to say. I'm a funny man. I'm a proven commodity. I did the show 3 times. I killed every time, and they brush you because they're scared of greatness because they're not great. And I'm the first one to tell these guys, listen, you're like me. You're okay. You're all right, but you're not great.
But you know something? This way, you don't sell out to anybody. You lay down at night, you put your head on the pillow, and you got a clear head.
The name of the story is they don't know how to be men and to face other people. There are other people better than me. I don't disrespect them. I learn. I learn from other cultures. I learn from other people who are better than me that I know, who know more. I'm not ashamed to say I don't know. I have no education. I'm on radio, WABC. What an honor. I'm here on radio, and a guy like a David Letterman or a Jay Leno, they must think that I'm not on this planet anymore. But I don't go away, and I tell Kathy Lee, I tell Regis, and I tell their stupid producer, and their producer is stupid for not buying me and for brushing me.
Calvones, Pat.
Oh, give me a break.
Calvones.
Listen,
the Voms?
Listen, there was a manager of Stephen Eady. They turned around. He knows I don't like Stephen Eady. They're great professionals. I love the way they sing and everything. I don't like them personally, but that's okay.
They want to zing you.
No, he turns around and costs me a job at the Desert Inn because I don't like Stephen Eady. Not to say that I'm a professional, I'm a great entertainer. So I lose the job because I don't like Stephen Eady personally. But they're the greatest singers on the planet. I respect their talent. I happened to have worked with them many years ago. I don't like the way they treat people. That's my business. So I went nationally and told everybody how I felt. They don't like it. Kiss my fazools. Anyway, you have a happy holiday. You sing with your finger in your nose today, you get a job.
Probably.
It's because, you know why? It's like a freako kind of a world.
Yeah, it is.
They don't want nobody to go out there and sing and just sing nice things and make you feel so wonderful and the way they paint pictures, some of these great singers out there. But, you know, they scream and yell. And I'm not against all rap, but some of the rap is garbage. You know, the minute you say you don't like rap, they say you're anti-black. It's a lot of crap.
I know.
I like Nat King Cole. I worked with Nat King Cole, Ella Fitzgerald, Louis Armstrong. Respected them. I'd kiss their butt. That's how much I loved them and respected them. But some of this rap music, when they start with against the police and they're cursing and screaming, you know, what do we need that for? It's getting nuts.
I know you can't let any cats out of the bag, but I hope that you know that you're going to be on permanently.
Where?
If it's permanently every other day or something, because you're just a breath of fresh air on talk radio.
My darling, you're such a lovely lady to say that, but I live in Las Vegas, and I
know. I love Las Vegas, too.
You know, unless they got $3 million, I'll pick up and I'll move here.
But listen, maybe they will.
Nah, I'm just making jest.
They come up with all kinds of, you should be playing basketball.
Well,
they give you $17 million.
You know, the gentleman here, Mr. Boyce, is such a fine man to trust me like this, and I say that not to be humble, I say because, you know, it's a little bit of a scary thing. You're going to do 3 hours. I used to do 4 for Bob Grant when he was on the show. I substitute for him, and then I substitute for Joy Behar, who I adore and love her. And also, I didn't substitute for a while. Then they gave me another shot. And they're nice people. In other words, they didn't turn their back on me. It took a year later. I come back on again. The Letterman kind of thing, and the Jade Leno's, and the Regis Philbin and Kathy Lee. How dare they not put me on? I'm a talent. I got things to say. You can't suppress me, because once I get a radio show, I'll lean on them till I die. I'll lean on them till I die. And again, I said it earlier, when Kathy Lee puts a Christmas show on this year, after having all that problems and all that nonsense, and then she goes out there, is going to sing about Jesus loves and Jesus saves and God Almighty loves and God. And then, what's his name? She puts on this other guy with the beard, Kenny Rogers. He's going, Jesus loves and God loves and we love. And they're all screaming and yelling, married 9 times or married 3 times. Everybody's innocent. And everybody finds Jesus on the way to the electric chair. I never knew Jesus was lost.
No, I think he must have been a prisoner or something, because he's always lives in a jail now.
Yeah. Well, anyway, listen, honey, I love you. I got to go to a break. You're a sweetheart. Have a happy holiday.
I hope I hear you very often.
And please be well, Pat Cooper.
The same to you.
Thank you, honey.
Bye.
770 WABC AM. Go get 'em.
best as usual. And
Thank you.
Let me just tell you something. Forget Sinatra. You're the greatest entertainer.
Oh, my God. Okay. Oh,
Don't
my
ever
God.
change a thing. Be what you are. Do what you're doing. And you've been doing it for all these years, and it's been the best.
Thank you.
And don't ever get this. Letterman learned from you. When Letterman was a snot-nosed kid, you were making records, and you were having the hits. So
Well, let me
with
tell you
Letterman.
something. That's nice. But you know something? You know, paid me a nice compliment that I respected very highly. It was very nice. And Paul Reiser was on the Letterman show one night, and Letterman said, who were your idols? He said, Pat Cooper, and I almost fell off the chair, which is a nice compliment. And I'm not looking for compliments. Well, when people say that, you know, you don't take it for granted. If someone's that thoughtful of my talent, that's okay. That's okay. And I thank them. But again, it irks me and it bothers me. Forget me now. I'm 68. I've seen the movie. But there are a lot of great youngsters out there who'll never get a chance. And these guys are such prudes. And we don't want to put them on. We got to clear this one and clear that one. Instead of getting on a plane and discovering talent, they use the same people over and over and over again. And then if you commit a crime, they go to the prison and they sit down and talk to the prisoner for 6 hours. And on his way to the electric chair, they keep talking to him. Like Geraldo one night, he said, I want to go into death row and see how it feels. He stays in there overnight. Sure, how does it feel? He's going to get out the next day. I mean, how dare he even go there? How dare he talk to the Charles Mansons when there's a Pat Coopers out there? They got things to say that make sense. But they don't want that. They want to show that they can go to any prison and they can turn around. Like Diane Sawyer, she went to a woman's prison, stood overnight, and she turned around and goes, oh, my God, it was rough. What do you mean rough? You're going to go home, you can have your caviar. Why do you do that to people? Why do you news people think that you're helping anybody by going into prison? Why? Why does Barbara Walters interview Farrakhan? She's Jewish, and he's a Jew hater, yet she sits there and interviews Farrakhan. Not one Jewish leader out there, said to her, hey, Barbara, why didn't you let somebody else interview this Looney Tune? But you turned around, being a Jew, you turned around, interviewed a Jew hater. What does that tell you about her? But nobody turns around and says anything. If I say anything about the Jewish people, I'm anti-Semitic. If I say something against the black people, I'm anti-black. If we say something against Italians, we're right.
We know better.
No, but you know something? It's a shame. And when I open my mouth, nobody wants to say nothing. They say, don't say nothing. Don't answer Pat Cooper. Why? It'll make them bigger. That's how they think. Instead of saying, wait a minute, maybe this guy's right. Maybe he's trying to say something, but they got no brains. But you know something? I ain't going away. I'll stay outside their stoop. And bust their chops. Because they're not going to turn around and brush me aside and say I don't exist. And when I say something, I say it because I mean it. I don't say it in a hateful fashion. I say there's a lot of great talent out there. You people who have the airways, you don't own them. Ladies and gentlemen, they don't own the airways. They act like they do. They don't. Trust me. And all you got to do is tell them, cut it out. We want these kind of people on our shows. We're tired of the same crapola. We're tired of dogs catching balls in their mouth. We want to see and hear something about decency. We want to hear people who's not afraid to say something, who can tell David Letterman, hey, David, you know, cut off your high horse. We're all equal. Your 17 million ain't going to make you bigger or better. And then let me tell you something. I'm a little brighter than you, David. I'm a little brighter. I take chances. You never took a chance in your life.
And next time they ask you for a tape, send them a record of Our Hero or one of your records.
No, I'll send them a hand grenade in their shorts.
Listen, let me tell you something. I've got every one of your records.
Thank you.
And is there any way I could ever get together with you to sign my records?
I don't know. Wait, listen, I'm going to be in Atlantic City on New Year's week, a Tuesday and Wednesday, the 30th and 31st. If you're in the area, I'll sign your leg. Don't worry about it.
And I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about Sandra Bernard?
Sandra Bernhardt.
Right.
I don't know what she does. I don't dislike her. I don't know what she does. I still don't know what this woman does. I really don't. All I know is about her sex life, but that's about all I know. You know, she's gay, she's not gay, she's bisexual, she's not bisexual, but she's doing an off-Broadway show here. It's very successful. I wish her luck.
She gets up there and trashes everybody.
Well, that's all right. So, hey, meanwhile, she's making money. You know, all right, listen, I got a hard break. I got to go to the news. Ralphie, be good.
I love you. Happy holiday. Happy New Year.
And thank you. And you people hold on to the phones because we'll be right back. Pat Cooper, 1-800-848-WABC, 770 AM on your dial. Goodbye and come on. It's 5 Alive.
Holidays.
Brian, how are you from Red Bank, New Jersey?
How's it going? Happy holidays.
You too. Many more to you, buddy.
Listen, before I ask my question, just want to tell you, if Letterman and Leno, those guys don't want you on, there's always somebody who does. Howard Stern, and he loves you.
I love Howard Stern. And
you're a great guest. You're his best guest whenever you're on there.
I say that to him, and sometimes he keeps, every time I go on a show, he says, I hear you badmouth me. You know, and that's why he gets me crazy.
Yeah,
I get nuts.
You going.
And it becomes funny. And, you know, I haven't been on in a couple of months, but, you know, he tells me, whenever you want to come on, call. The last time I went on, he said, you know, I squeezed you in. I went nuts. I said, you don't squeeze me in. You don't do me. I went nuts. I started screaming at him. And, and well,
like
we're
you
still
said, he knows
friends.
how to get you going.
Well, we're still friends, and, hey, listen, the guy's a giant on radio. He's broke down a lot of barriers. I don't agree with everything he says, nor does he agree with everything I say.
Hey.
But I care about him. He's a friend. I care about that whole crew. They're hardworking people. And, again, I don't agree with everything, but we're still friends. What can I do?
I got to know you, and that's great on my part, I'll tell you.
Okay, well, listen, let me tell you something. He opened doors for younger people for me, and some of my people that never heard of him put him on, so we helped each other, and, hey, he's been good for me, and I don't knock that, and I thank him, and what else can I say?
Good. Well, my question was, I'm a teacher down here in New Jersey.
Okay.
And I heard today on the news that the Rudy Crew, the school chancellor...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And Mayor Giuliani decided to put the police officers in the schools to help protect the kids and the teachers. And the school that I teach at down here, we don't have the kinds of problems with violence they do up there. But I just wanted to commend them and get your thoughts on what you thought about the cops being in the schools.
I don't like any policemen in schools, but unfortunately, the way our society is today, I got news for you. We're going to need more policemen in school than people. Than kids. It's terrible, but, they got to search you now, and what's happening to our country? I mean, what is that nonsense? I think if it stopped at home, we'd have a better situation in the schools. But I think the parents got to turn around and say, hey, let me see, where you going? What did you touch? And sometimes you got to follow your kid to find out what they're doing. You got to put your life into their hands. You got to let them know you care. You got to let them know that we're going to give you tough love. Tough love is a whack in the head sometimes, not to hurt them intentionally or to disfigure them, but to tell them we care about you. If you got any kind of guns or any kind of medicine that you're taking you shouldn't take. You know what I told my daughter years ago? I said, honey, you want to buy cocaine? Here's what you do. Here's the money. You buy it. You bring it. Put it on the table. Me, you, and your mother will take it. Because if you're going to die, I want to die. That's how much we love you. That's how much we care about you. Please. And, she got the message. I said, don't do this because you're not only going to kill yourself. You're going to kill us. Because if you die, we both die with you. And then we suffer for your stupidity. Don't do that to us.
Well, I think that the problem is that the kids these days are bringing the serious weapons to school.
They got to be whacked out.
A teacher can defend himself.
Brian, let me tell you something, and I know people have heard this many times. Years ago when a teacher hit you, you told your father hit you. He said, how dare you make that teacher hit you? You must have been an idiot. Because she's trying to teach you some respect and teach you how to be a decent person and teach you education. If she hits you, you must have been out of order. Today, they got lawyers, they got do-gooders, they got organizations. Don't touch my kid, don't touch this here. I tell you right now, we got to go back to basics. We got to go back to yesterday. Because yesterday wasn't that bad. We all came through yesterday. I didn't wind up too bad. I got no education. And, I was a kid, ran away from home, did a lot of crazy things also. But I turned out to be pretty good. I knew what was right and wrong. I didn't need nobody to tell me. I don't need to go to church and have a priest say to me, well, this is right. I knew. And you know what's right. It's in your soul. No one has to teach you right and wrong. We know what society wants us to do. If you can't do it, then you got to get punished for it.
Just like Latrell Sprewell.
Okay, you take care.
Bye-bye.
That was Brian. Okay, let's go to Margaret for South Plainfield. Margaret, go ahead. You want to talk about Kathy Lee?
Yes, Pat.
Go ahead, darling.
After all the people that have complimented you, I'm one that disagrees.
Okay, I respect that. Go ahead.
I really feel what you said about the Christmas show is very, very wrong. First of all, a Christmas show, our children are in it, it's for the enjoyment of other people. What happened in their family is their own private business. If it wasn't, the way our society is, every time somebody scratches their nose, the whole world knows about it. If it wasn't for that, why should we be involved in people's private lives? I think it's so wrong. And even if they did it, Christmas is a season that you celebrate the birth of our Lord, who came here for us, for our sins, to forgive us. It's a season of renewal and forgiveness, not to criticize somebody or say they didn't have a good year and therefore they should be banished and wait for another year. We just live for today. We don't know if we're going to be here tomorrow.
You make a lot of sense. I agree with you on that. But
and I really, Kathy Lee can be a little sometimes boastful and so forth, but I think she's a very decent person.
I don't doubt that. I'm not doubting that.
I see no reason why she shouldn't have a Christmas show, and her children shouldn't be involved in it, and joy shouldn't be given.
But it's political, honey. It's how it comes off. It comes off political. It comes off like, all right, let's forget yesterday. Now this poor man who had the problem, he comes in at the last show, from what I'm reading in the papers. He walks out with his 2 children, looks like Kathy Lee, said, let's go home. It's like a man with his tail between his legs. You're castrating this man. If he's any kind of a man, and I don't dislike her, but I'm going to tell him, Frank, if you're listening, you should have turned around and said, look, I don't want to be involved. forget about it. Go, do your Christmas show, and please, because I'm embarrassed that I got to walk out here like a juke, and a juke in Italy means a fool.
Well, I understand, but the fact remains, I thought it had to take a lot of guts for him to do that.
That's not guts.
Probably wanted to go hide in a room and not do that.
Now, she's got her finger in his nose, and she wants this guy to get tortured. I tell you right now, if that were me, if I made that mistake, and she tried to turn around and bury me, the burying would be over. I said, goodbye, it's been a pleasure. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. That's the end of it. But don't turn around and stop putting pins on my head for the rest of my life, because it ain't going to work. I'm sorry it happened.
I don't think that's what she's doing. I think
yes, she is doing it, because she's already proven that in some of the things that she has done around where she's worked. She's went down to Tennessee and to do the show. She's come out with some remarks. I mean, the papers picked it up. And again, I don't dislike her, but I'm going to tell her right now, somebody's got to tell you, grow up and understand that there are people out there who don't have. There are people out there who want to respect you, want to care about you, and you keep telling us what you got, and you turn around and they're making you dresses, and the poor Chinese women are working for 4 cents an hour, and Frank Gifford runs down there with thousands in his hand trying to pay everybody off. He panicked. Instead of telling the company, my wife's name will not be on your dresses no more, it's the end, you're not going to do this to my wife, but he didn't do that. He panicked with money in his hand. And let me tell you something. Don't let anybody tell you they didn't know. I tell you, if my name's on any kind of product, I got to get lawyers to find out who's doing it, where I'm involved, and make sure that you don't make a jerk out of me. Otherwise, we're going to have a problem. Honey, I got to run. I got to take a break. I love you. Thank you. Okay. Pat Cooper, taking a break. Come back. WABC, 770 a.m.
Mike and Lionel, you've got to listen to this.
Good morning, Sal. Welcome to WABC.
Mike, hubby out here. You got $1.50 for a token.
Right.
And times 2, if I go to work and back, that's $3.
$3.
Times 5 is 15, and I'm going to buy a pass for 17, so I get screwed for $2.
It's $17, but that doesn't limit you on the number of rides, Sal. You can ride 1,000.
Boy, so maybe I can go to work twice.
Mike Gallagher and Lionel in the morning on News Talk Radio 77 WABC.
What?
Yeah, Pat.
Okay, baby, how are you?
Nice talking to you.
My
Happy
pleasure.
holiday.
Happy, many more to you.
I waited a long time to talk to you.
Thank you.
I heard your record at the Hero about the Italian wedding.
Oh, my God, that
And I
thing
used
is...
to play that with my sister, and my sister's passed on. And
You know, that record's becoming hot again. It's such a nice compliment. It's a cult. It's becoming a cult album, and I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, and, and in it you mentioned your Bud A's. Well, I'm Bud A's.
Yeah, my father come from a town called Mola di Bari.
All right, now my father come from Joey Knott's.
Well, that's right across the street.
Yeah, and I don't know, just to hear you, it's almost like the upbringing I had as a kid, you know.
You know, those upbringings are over, my friend.
If you done wrong, you got that slap on the back of the head, and then you had to deal with the teacher and all that other business.
There's a thing called common sense, which they don't have today. They don't teach that in universities. They teach you the computer, but the computer doesn't teach you common sense. It teaches you how to, how to make things faster, how to telephone your mother from the school. There are football players who get tackled, who go back into by the coach, pick up a phone and call up their mother. Say, I'm all right, Mom, not hurt.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a whole thing, and we're forgetting the basics of being a decent person and at least getting along with your fellow human being. That's all that counts.
I brought up 4 kids that way there, and they all went straight.
And you're a lucky man.
Yeah.
You're one of the lucky ones, and you know something? They should be proud to have a father
well,
like you.
I'm pretty sure they do. You know?
Well, then you're proud. Thank you, Larry.
And then I saw you at the Starlight, at Starlight Theater in Colony.
Wow.
And I saw you a couple of times. I always wanted to get to talk to you, but I know how it is.
Thank you.
When you're in that performing business, you got too many kooks out.
No, not really. You know, hey, it's part of the game. I was a bricklayer, cab driver, longshoreman. You had your tough times then. I'm the happiest horse in the race right now. I'm in the best business. And I tell you right now, there's nobody more lucky than me. I tell that. I'm not trying to be humble. I'm telling you facts.
Yeah.
You take care, buddy.
Well, you keep up the good work, Pat.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Many more to you.
Bye.
People don't know where they can get the record. 1-800-9064-PAT. 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 You'll get a CD or a cassette. My buddy will pick up the phone and mail you one right away. And we're going to get ready almost, but now we got a few minutes more. Let's go to one more call. Lena from Queens, number 1. On 1. Lena,
Pat.
how are you, Lena?
Good, how are you?
I ain't got too much time, sweetie. I got to go to a break. Go ahead.
I just want you to know that I was supposed to go see you at Westbury.
What happened?
I had the tickets in my hand at this very moment.
Oh, boy.
I was taking my nephew. I got an infection in my tooth, my mouth, and I had to have surgery, a whole bunch of stuff. But the kid was working overtime.
Are you well now?
Well, I'm better.
Oh, I'm happy.
But I was taking my nephew, who's 32 years old. I had a ticket since Labor Day. Playing it since the summer.
Well,
really.
let's hopefully I'll come back there and maybe you'll come and see me.
I definitely, I want to come to see you.
Well, you're a lovely lady, and I thank you. I'm just sorry that you have to blow the money on those tickets.
Yeah, well, you know,
Save them. They may be worth something someday. You know, maybe they'll give you back your money. I'll sign them, and maybe when I become a big name, they'll be worth $3. Anyway, you take care, darling, and be well. And thank you for calling, and thanks for trying to come and see me.
Oh, listen, I mean, believe me, you everybody loves my family. I have all nephews, all boys.
Oh, God love them.
I'm all buddies.
Well, that's nice. Thank you.
Okay.
And thank you. And when I get back, well, we're going to get ready for a big break. I'm going to come. Oh, honey, you take care. Happy holidays. Well, we're going to get ready in a couple of seconds for the big break, and the news is coming on pretty soon. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Stacy Steidenberg's Venetian table, ladies and gentlemen, about marrying and wanting shrimps. Chester, how are you?
Hey, I'm fine. How are you, Pat? I'm enjoying you, and welcome to the world of broadcasting.
Thank you.
I vehemently disagree with you on the Sprewell situation.
Go ahead.
And I can't take your take of Johnny Cochran. First of all, to receive respect, you have to give it. And PJ is in for some of this criticism. He does not know how to deal with these young men on an equal basis. His is a F word here and an F word there.
I see.
And that's not the only language they understand. If it was a group of other young men, would he talk to them or treat them in the same manner? I say no. I say temporary insanity. The young man had no business putting his hands on anyone.
Okay, right.
Temporary insanity, not take away his livelihood for a year. No, it's an overreaction, and I don't think it's fair. And other guys have done it. Tom Chambers, for one,
right,
beat up an assistant coach. They quickly moved him to another team very quietly.
I don't think this man's going to be out of work. I doubt that. I think what's going to happen, they're going to get together, sit down when the smoke clears, say, okay, look, we all make mistakes. Let's shake hands. Let's play ball. And let's get back to where it's going. But I think it's a good warning to other athletes out there. Say, wait a minute. Let's cool it a little bit. It's not easy because we cannot tell the general of the army, I don't want to do what you tell me. And and again, I'm not. Listen, the coach is not innocent. I'm sure he's not innocent. And I don't know if I could handle people remarking and beating my brains out. But again, the minute you put your hands on somebody, you know what you're doing? You're jeopardizing your life. Because if that guy's a nut, he'd turn around and blow you away.
Absolutely.
So we got to be very careful.
But see, here's where you upset me, Pat. When
I don't want to upset you. I care about. I don't even know you. Why we're just debating it. That's all. Go ahead.
Here's where you upset me. When you mentioned John Cochran, you, like many other Americans,
go ahead,
jump to the race card.
No. Whoops. But time out. That's unfair. That's unfair. I don't say that. No. It has nothing to do with race.
Yeah, but
please.
When you say John Cochran steps in and everyone gets
well, what does that tell you about
the card that we're talking about?
But everybody turns around as a black skin, calls Johnny Cochran like he's going to save the world. What the hell's the matter with
him?
He
happens to be a brilliant
We're not saying he's not brilliant. What is he doing there?
What
is he doing there?
To white America, he's looked upon as I heard someone call him cockroach.
No, I wouldn't call him that. That's unfair. I don't think the man's stupid.
But I'm saying white America will not accept his brilliance. They look upon him as someone who gets guys off. I think the man does a brilliant job.
Let me explain something to you. There's no more white America, my friend. I don't know where you've been looking. White America is over. This country is not white anymore. This country is now a little tannish here and there. There's no more white America like I grew up when you say white America. I think this country is getting together. We're having problems, and that's why we fight and we can, but it's got to get together. White American is dead. And when I say Johnny Cochran, or if I'm mad at Mike Tyson, that doesn't mean I hate all black people. That's ridiculous. And I got news. If he's a white man and he's out of order, burn him. I don't give a damn. I said that about 14-year-old kids, 13-year-old white, green, or blue. You deserve to be punished. Get it. That white and black thing has got to be over. It's nonsense. That's a lot of crapola. And unfortunately, a couple of the black ball players got themselves in trouble. So naturally, everybody says, well, they're all black. That's why they're bad. That's not true. That's not true. We've got a lot of white players that I can't stand and that are no good, that are indecent, that ought to be ashamed of themselves. But unfortunately, when we see a Johnny Cochran, and please, and I'm guilty. I see a Johnny Cochran and say, whoops, here we go, I'm going to save the world. Or I see a Farrakhan out there with 2 guys behind him or 3 guys behind him showing their muscle like we're supposed to be afraid of him, like he's threatening us. For what reason? You want to be anti-Semitic or anti-white, anti-gay, fine, it's the greatest country in the world, you can do that. But the minute you got 2 big Kongs behind you with their muscles and with their karate, now what are you going to do? Remember one thing. That's unfair. You want to be a Jew hater, a black hater, say what's on your mind. And you know what hurts me about people who hate the black people? But when the ball game's on, they go, oh, my God, there he goes, out of boy, and they high-five. The minute the game's over, they don't like the black people. Those are the ones I disrespect. If you don't like the black people, don't like them all the way down the line. Don't pick on them and say they're great athletes, but after the game's over, you dislike them. I like people for people. That skin thing's got to get over, and white America is dead, my friend. Trust what I tell you. There's no more white America. Ralphie, thank you. Is that Ralph? Did he leave? Eli, I love you. Anyway, 3, Ralph.
Hey.
Hello, Ralph.
Dad, hi.
I'm ranting and raving, Ralph.
How are you?
I don't want to hurt that guy's feeling. I had the respect for him, and I had respect for his views. But when he tells me there's white America, it's over, pal. There's no more white America. It's tan.
Hey, we're all Americans.
And remember, we have Latinas here, we have Orientals here, we have some white people here, we have black people here. And again, the African-American scene, I don't like those words, African-American. That's unfair. You were born in this country, don't give me that African-American. I am an American first and Italian second. So cut the crapola out. I'm an African-American. All of a sudden, and a couple of years ago, everybody becomes an African-American. What about our country, damn it? What about stop putting our country down? I'm sick of this nonsense with the threat that you're an African-American. You're an American or get out of the country. For crying out loud, that burns my rear end. How dare you? How dare you? This country comes first. You ought to kiss the floor that you're born in this country, all of us. How dare you? I'm an American. Italy can screw themselves. I want America first. Then if there's something left over, I'll share it with other people. And remember, the Africans have a lot of trouble over in Africa. I don't see many people here volunteering and going over there and fighting. I don't see them going over there and fighting. So I want to save the Congo. I want to save the no. They're all African-American on their terms. A true African-American says, get me on that boat. I'm going over there and I'm going to fight those Zulus. That's a true guy. That's a true guy or a true woman. Don't con me. I'm an African-American. You're full of bull. Be an American. Love your country. Once in a while, put your hands on the floor and kiss it. We make mistakes in America. Of course we do. But we're the best on the planet. There's nobody near us. And you know what's killing us? The jealousy out there. We give and they spit in our face. We give and they spit in our face. That's what's wrong with this country. Next time we give, they spit in our face. Cut them off. I'm sorry I didn't meet the Ralph. What else? How's it up there in Maine, Ralph?
Oh, 9 degrees right now.
All right, listen, do me a favor.
Oh.
Get a sled and come here. I want to see you.
Hey, when are you going to come up here?
There's no place for me to work up there. There's only lobsters up there. The lobsters don't want to hear from me.
Not enough people. Yeah, it's tough.
Ralph, I love you.
Hey, 68 years old. You're doing a great job on the radio.
Have a nice holiday. I got to go to break now. It's going on. It is 1:45. Okay, ABC, Pat Cooper, 770. On your dial. Waiting along. 2, Amy. On 2. Amy, how are you?
Hi, Pat. I'm fine. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
So I wanted to say that I agree a lot with what you say about Kathy Lee, and I'm happy to hear someone say it, because like Howard really had her number a long time ago, and she is, the charity she does is so boasted about, and to say she went on Barbara Walters and says that she's such a good person. I mean, if you're a good person, you don't go out and say it. There are, I think Mia Farrow is a more charitable person than Kathy Lee. This woman has adopted really handicapped children and taken them into her house and legally adopted them. I think that's remarkable. Kathy Lee, I mean, what does she get, a manicure twice a day? Well, when was the last time she ever did anything, really, except brag about herself?
I don't think she's handling success the way she's supposed to. And again, I don't hate her. I don't dislike her. I worked with her many years ago at the Tropicana. She was very nice and a talented lady, sings a great song. Her sister was a doll also. And all of a sudden, I think when this thing got off the ground in that morning show, and all of a sudden they don't handle it, they forget where they come from, and they say, hey, wait a minute. We got a home in Connecticut. Hey, who cares? Live, enjoy. People are caring about your talent. Back off already. Don't have to tell us what you got.
Well,
Nobody
it's
cares.
Not only that, the average woman watching that show is with their tongue out. If they're Colorado and New York and here and there and 100 maids, and these women are sitting there in their house coats. They don't know what to do first. They think that this is something attainable. Most people cannot attain that, and I don't think she's doing America a favor by bringing them, I have no idea where Diane Sawyer lives. I don't know where Barbara Walters lives. But she is just pushes it in the nose of a lot of people that just can't. I don't think that it's really healthy to do that to the people.
But she doesn't realize that, and you know something. It's just a sad thing because it kicked her in the butt when her old man went a little bit crazy there. But and again, whether he was set up or not, that's unfair to say. I don't know, it was unfair, but it's still. With all her praising and everything, and then to have that happen, and they had a half-hour show with this doctor, and they were talking about how much love and togetherness.
I know. I mean, what a hypocrite!
Oh, that got me crazy because why even if Frank never had an affair with somebody else, why even put that crap on? Who the hell cares?
Who is she to be a marriage counselor?
No, but I'm bringing a point out. But she wants everybody to love her. Maybe she's a lonely lady. Maybe she's not getting the fulfillment of her success. Who the hell knows? You know,
she's very shrewd. She has pushed herself with friendships to the governor and the president.
Yeah, well, that's a con job.
And I mean, when she says she has people, her dearest friends over to dinner, they're Michael Eisner, they're some multi-zillionaires. I mean,
well, she's in awe of all that, of all that. And instead of just saying, "Hey, I'm a person. I want to go about my business. I make mistakes, and that's the end." But she wants to be Mary Happiness, and that's not going to happen. Exactly. And now this thing, and she'll carry this thing to her grave. You missing what I tell you, because this thing really kicked her in the butt. This thing really kicked her in. And you know something? Maybe it's a wake-up call. It should be a wake-up call to say, hey, wait a minute, these things could happen to me. I can die tomorrow. My kids can die tomorrow. Who the hell am I to think that I'm so perfect?
You're right, what she's doing to Frank. I have no respect for Frank.
Oh, no, he's a pussy. No, the man became a pussy because he's...
Totally, he looks awful.
She will torture.
So awful.
I saw him on the plane coming back from Florida. I tell you something, he looked like he needs a good dish of pasta. And to walk around like that, I tell you something, if I got caught like this, honey, I'd tell the wife, goodbye, it's over. But I don't know what. Maybe it's the money. He don't need it.
It's funny. She talks about everything good that happens. When he did that to her, she didn't say boo on
She can't because she was caught red-handed, practically. She didn't know what to say. And then that showing off the air right away when it was Frank and her talking, holding hands and everything.
Oh, yeah, right.
You know what I tell my wife? I said, when I start holding your hand, look out.
Well, the point is that she's a little bit of a phony, and that's why I think a lot of people really don't respect her.
But she has a lot of fans out there. Let's be fair about it. They still like her on that show.
Don't see through it.
Well, they do, but like the woman before that said, she disagreed with me, and I said, fine, that's your opinion. She said, well, she's this, she's that. Okay. Hey, everybody looks at people differently. I just think that she put her foot in her mouth, and she hasn't taken it out yet, and it's not getting any better. And for Barbara Walters to give her airtime to cop out, I blame Barbara Walters to waste time on that nonsense, because it didn't help her, it made it worse. She gets all the airtime. Now she's saying, well, I'm a good person, and if you're a good person, back off, mind your business, don't tell people how you're living your life. Nobody gives a damn.
Look at Paul Newman. I mean, this man...
Classiest man on the planet.
A fortune to charities, but you never hear him going on television how great he is.
Classiest man on the planet.
Yeah.
And a credit to his culture.
She has taken any class out of it, and when she get on, say, I give all the profits on my Walmart dresses, then she gives 50%, now it's down to 10%, soon it's going to be she gives 6%.
She shouldn't say nothing. What she gives it on, just give. You know something, I give to charity, I don't give millions of dollars away. I sign a check, I give it, I don't say, oh, look what I did, it's over.